Hello, my name is Jorlina Dermody, and here at Allman Johnson Company, we wanted to give a brief overview of some deductions available to S corporations if the proper steps are followed. The first topic I'm covering is health insurance. If you would like to fully deduct your health insurance, there are 3 steps that need to be taken in order to do so. Step 1, either the business pays the premiums or the owner pays the premiums, then the business reimburses the owner. Step 2, the amount of the premiums must run through payroll and be included in the owner's W-2, which will be included in box 1. This amount is not subject to payroll taxes, meaning the Social Security or the Medicare piece, but this allows for step number 3, where you as the owner claim the health insurance deduction on your tax return. There are 2 hurdles to be aware of. First, if you or your spouse are offered employer-subsidized health insurance, even if you do not take the insurance, then you cannot take this deduction. Second, your deductions for the premiums cannot exceed your salary from the business. The second deduction I'm going to cover is the home office expense. There have been a few methods in the past that attempt to give a home office deduction. However, if you would like to maximize your write-off for your home office, the best solution is for the business to reimburse you through an accountable plan. This means that you as the owner submit an expense report to the business, and the business reimburses you for these expenses. You do need to actually reimburse yourself. That cash must move. With your approval, we will draft an accountable plan for you so that you have this aspect of the proper documentation in place. If you are not currently using Receipt Bank, we can get Receipt Bank set up for you. We supply access as a thank you for working with us, or we can supply you with an expense report template for your documenting needs. Vehicle expense is the third deduction I'm going to cover. And this covers both the personal vehicles and company-owned vehicles. If you own the vehicle rather than the company, we're continuing the theme here. You need to submit an expense report to the company for reimbursement. If the company owns the vehicle, we've recorded the vehicle on the balance sheet, and assuming there's a loan, the company is making the payments, then the vehicle expenses should be paid for by the company, things like gas, tires, insurance. Then mileage needs to be tracked so that we can allocate the vehicle expenses between business and personal. Because lastly, we have to use a special calculation to compute the amount of income that needs to be reported on your W-2 for the personal use of the vehicle. We do recommend and like apps that do this. It makes it much easier. Things like Mileage IQ. All you have to do is you just go through and you can just swipe whether it's personal, business, or charitable. Lastly, I'm going to just briefly mention the qualified business income deduction, also known as QBI or the 20% deduction. This was new to 2018 and was part of the recent tax reform. The QBI deduction is very complex because the calculation is based on a company by company basis, then on an individual by individual basis. No 2 situations are the same. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but just wanted to point out that there are a few key variables that affect the calculation. The amount of W-2 wages and/or depreciable property are a big part of the calculation, as well as the amount of taxable income and the kind of business the company is, meaning whether it's a service trade, manufacturing, retail, etc. So we can discuss how to best advise you to maximize your deduction. It is important to have all the various parts and pieces in place in order to take full advantage of these deductions. Allman Johnson Company will help you with drafting and supplying you with the proper documentation so that you are compliant and to maximize the full amount of deduction as allowed by law. We will be reaching out to you to schedule time to go over these deductions. If you are watching this and are not a current client, please click the Get in Touch button at the top of our website. We would love to explore if we can help you too. Thank you for taking the time to watch. We look forward to talking to you soon.